So thanks again taking the time to do this.
For sure, yeah.
So kind of kicking things off, I got to give you a congratulations. I heard you just got a Best Actor award.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. The festival in Montreal was fantastic. I was very honored to receive that. I appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about the award, because that was for East of Middle West, right?
Yeah, it was for a film I worked on a while back called East of Middle West, and it's basically about this teenage runaway, Chris, who I play, who goes on the run after committing an accidental crime. Without spoiling anything. And it kind of follows him as he figures out his own morality, his own versions of what freedom means, both internally and externally. And it deals a lot with like moral gray stuff. He adopts a life of crime as he goes on the run. That whole project was a blast to film, like start to finish. It was such an incredible shoot.
And I might be mistaken, but it seems the pandemic hasn't slowed you down even in the slightest bit. It seems like you're just nonstop working.
I've been one of the lucky ones. Yeah, I mean, 2020 was crazy, and but since then, 2021 has been pretty good. I worked on a couple projects, kind of like middle of the year, 2021. We just had one come out called Lock and Key, season 2 just aired. That was very exciting. And next year, I have a film, Luckiest Girl Alive, that's slated to come out sometime, hopefully in the fall, I think.
Could you expound on that at all? I know it's with Mila
Yeah.
Kunis.
Yes, yeah. Mila Kunis is starring in the film. She is incredible. Connie Britton is involved as well as some other incredible actors and actresses that I was very, very lucky to work with. The film's based off of the writer Jessica Knoll wrote a book a few years back called Luckiest Girl Alive, the same name. And it was a New York Times bestseller. And the whole film kind of revolves around this character, Tiffany. Flips back and forth between her life as a kid in high school, as well as her kind of fully matured as an adult, and dealing with the repercussions of what happened when she was a child later in her life. I come in most of the earlier stages of her lifetime. It's a very intense script. It's a very intense movie, but the message is incredible. I think more movies need to be made about this type of stuff, and the way that Jessica Knoll wrote this and the way that our incredible director, Mike Barker, brought it to life is truly something special. I think it's going to be a good one.
As you've kind of seen, I guess, your stardom kind of build up, especially after appearing in Shazam and taking this Best Actor award, are you finding yourself more and more getting roles coming in?
I mean, I've definitely loved the auditions I've been getting recently. It's a weird life as an actor because you just constantly go from employment to unemployment over and over again. There's zero stability. But I kind of love that. And I'm still doing the audition process, but the auditions that I've been getting recently, it's nice having the ability to say no in this industry. And I think that that's a word a lot of actors take for granted at times. And when it comes to auditions, I've started to have the luxury of deciding which ones I would like to take on, which ones I'd rather pass on. But I still, like every other actor, go through the audition process, send in my tapes. But it's been cool seeing kind of the progression of these projects finally coming to light and how it's helped me along the way.
So even though you touched on it a little bit, like when the pandemic really hit, did it give yourself downtime? Did you use that to maybe hone in on your craft?
Yeah, it was interesting. So when the pandemic first hit, I was in LA at the time, and I had to cut my trip early because I needed to get back to Canada because the border was closing and no one knew what was going to happen, and I didn't want to get stuck in LA when my home camp was back in Toronto. And so it was a lot of hecticness, kind of getting back home and settling down and stuff. But once I was there, it was really nice getting time to relax. I think that was one of the benefits of what was a horrible year for me personally, was just being able to kind of relax and slow down a little bit. And I spent a lot of that time just with family, a lot of that time kind of really delving into some film and TV stuff that I'd been putting on the back burner for a while, and kind of falling in love with acting, because it's very easy in this industry to kind of get lost in the set lights and all the bright things around you. But grounding myself in why I do it in the first place was a huge benefit from the year off that I had.
And considering, I mean, you've had a variety of roles, especially in the kind of fantasy, sci-fi, horror.
Yeah.
I mean, really all over the spectrum. I got to imagine, especially, have you taken on a lot of stunt work?
I have done a fair bit of stunt work. Yeah, I'm lucky that I've been able to do stunt work. I love getting stunt scenes. Shazam was really cool because it kind of put me through the ringer on things to do on a set. I got to do stunt scenes, I did fight scenes, and me doing wire work, and it was a blast. Like I love doing that stuff.
So has it kind of like changed, I guess, your perspective on things at all, seeing like that different side of things?
Totally, yeah. Well, one, it's given me a whole new renewed respect for stunt workers who do like the actually dangerous ones. Like some of the stuff that they do, it just blows my mind. But it also is, for me, I think it's kind of push forward this idea that physicality matters so much in acting, and I don't think a lot of people realize it. Like so much of it is obviously like in the emotional exploration, all the internal work you have to do, but the way you behave on camera as well is so prevalent, especially when you're doing stunt work. But it's also so prevalent when you're acting, and it kind of gave me a new perspective on how I approach characters now that I'm more aware of that.
And I understand when you were younger, you did a lot of singing as well as acting. Could you ever see, I mean, we're getting a lot of these musicals getting into theaters. Could you see yourself going that route?
For sure, yeah. Oh, I'd love to do some type of musical, either film or theater down the line. Who knows? I mean, that's kind of how I started acting. Was I did musicals when I was in grade 3 or grade 4, and I just kind of fell in love with it immediately. And so, being able to return to that, I'd love to do something like that.
So what were some of those musicals you did when you were a kid?
Oh man, I did Snoopy. That was a fun one. I did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I did a Shrek in grade 10. What were some of the other ones I did? The Ugly Duckling was one. A couple others I can't remember the name of right now, but I would do them like once a year with my school, and it was just, I loved it.
If you had to pick one, which one would you do? If they put this on stage or in the theater?
Oh man, that is so hard. Okay. I mean, my favorite musical ever is Hamilton, but I also love what they're doing with casting for that musical, so I wouldn't want to touch that. But if I could place myself into one, it would probably be Dear Evan Hansen. I love that musical as well. I know it's a newer one, and Ben Platt is untouchable in that role, but being able to be part of something like that, I love it. It's a very cool one.
What about one that hasn't made the transition yet to film that's maybe a play, musical?
Huh. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I haven't put any thought into it. If they come my way, though, I'll be sure to hop on board because that would be fantastic.
Yeah, hey, who knows? Maybe there's a Shazam the musical coming.
Oh yeah, starring the bully. That would be fantastic. I sing my way through the scenes as I'm beating up all the younger kids. It's going to be interesting.
Hey, but definitely, I'm a big fan, much like it seems like the rest of the world is, between these DC huge production movies, the Marvel movies, and all that. But the one thing that always seems to kind of catch me a little bit, like, I guess, being skeptical, is the chemistry really going to translate between characters? And I mean, you and Zach, you guys hit it off. Did that just kind of come instantly, or?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, that whole set was really cool to work on because it was my first real big budget production that I'd been a part of. And I was shocked by how welcoming and friendly all the other actors were on set. Like working with Jack, Zach, the entire group of the younger version of the kids were just so sweet, and we had such a great time. I mean, even on the set, I think this is probably what helped is they had it in our green room. They set up a Nintendo with Mario Kart on it. And so we would spend hours just playing Mario Kart together, and we really got to know each other well. And I think that helped a lot when we got to the scenes. That competitiveness kind of came through.
Do you find that competitive nature in anything outside of that, or are you a sports guy or anything like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm very competitive. Ironically, I try and keep it out of like externally with acting, because I think when it comes to acting, I'd rather be competitive with myself than anyone else. But I love sports. I'm a huge basketball fan. Any of my friends would tell you that I am very invested in winning when it comes to any kind of sporting events and stuff. I love playing basketball. I grew up playing baseball. That was my main sport when I was younger. Big sports guy. Yeah.
So down the road, are we going to hopefully see you in a sports role? What's the perfect one?
That would be another dream of mine. Dream role would be to do something sports related. In East and Middle West, there's like one scene of me where I'm kind of in football gear, and ironically, that's the one sport I know nothing about. But if I could do something, I mean, Friday Night Lights is one of my favorite TV shows and movies ever. Something along those lines, basketball or baseball related, going back to my roots, would be a lot of fun. I'd love to do something with sports.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights is definitely one for me as well. Love that show and movie.
Incredible, yeah.
All right, well, hey, that's about it. Is there anything you'd like to share with fans? I mean, sounds like you've got so many projects on the horizon. Definitely fill us in.
I mean, if you're watching, thanks for listening. I appreciate the interview. This was a lot of fun.